Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
He said to watch True Heel Heat now! Right now!
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble 251. Don't let the jet down. Talking about last night's AEW and Dynamite and Collision 3-hour special as only we can. And of course, to break it all down, as we do here every Thursday, I am joined by the good brother, the man you go to for your TV and movie reviews, the man you go to for your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling, the man you go to for his amazing Yankee fitteds. He is the one, the only, Jimmy Macram. Jimmy, how the hell are
you? We'll see. We'll see. After last night's show, I can't make any kind of promises how today's show's going to go, but we will see. I'm here. I usually enjoy these 2 hours, so here's hoping.
You sounded indifferent when we first started, and then I told you about my tweet last night, and you got aggressively annoyed.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
This is like the closest that you've ever been to actually being on my side on a situation.
I would say you're on my side of the situation. People are fucking cold. I keep trying to tell you.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I saw the worst side of the sicko nation when I literally complimented and liked most of last night's show. I still get some heat when I have one complaint, just one complaint on the show. They're like, "Oh my god, you're always complaining. All you do is complain."
I told you. Well, I will get into it. But I'll just say this.
Yes.
People say hate kids, which is not true. I think kids are helpless. It's probably a good way to put it. They are. I mean, they're kids. They can't do anything. They're helpless. And adults are arrogant. I hate teenagers because teenagers are as arrogant as adults, but as helpless as fucking children. And that's why I hate the sickos, because they're as bold as fucking WWE fans, and yet as helpless when they want to be. They're picking on us. Oh, this is not right. We're just number 2. Leave us alone. Get the fuck out of here. Enough of these people. Enough of these fucking people. Not you guys. You guys are great. But these fucking people stink. I'm sorry.
We appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on the video. That helps us out so much. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the comments down below if you're watching us on demand and let us know what you thought of last night's AEW Dynamite and Collision. And of course, if you're with us live, you can sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and AEWramble, the longest running and best AEW Dynamite review in the land, you could do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. If we hit our goal for today, we will be doing another Jimmy Q&A where me and Jimmy answer your questions following an episode of AEWramble. So let's see if we can hit our super chat goal for the day. We got already in the chat with us today, Clown, who says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. We got Alan, who says, what's up, SP3, Jimmy, and chat? The Jet as a heel. I'm here for now if we can get Javon to turn heel next. I mean, he teased it on Monday, so step in the right direction.
Frustrated young man, upset about their places in the company. That would be interesting if this was written by good writers, but it's not. So I wouldn't expect much of any real substance.
Also fair. Alan saying leave a thumbs up on this video. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much. We got Eric, who says, hey, THH fam, the Jet has turned. Let the MJF title invitational begin. And why is the AEW women's division so much underused? It has just gotten egregious and inexcusable. Like we have a built-in excuse with injuries and layoffs for certain people, and Mercedes hasn't been here for most of the year. But just because your 3 top stars have left, what's always been the thing in the history of professional wrestling, if you have 3 stars leave, you just make 3 new stars, or you position other people to kind of fill their spot. Instead, you're doing nothing.
Fucking embarrassing. And he's going to get away with it. It just is. I mean, at a certain point, we need to accept that this wouldn't work if it wasn't accepted. And the majority of the fan base is not interested. Sorry. Or at the very least, not enough to raise a fit.
No. No, it doesn't seem so. We got Alan who says the biggest question ever is, did Jimmy love Double or Nothing, and will he give it 10 out of 10? Alan, that is a question that's like asking if he actually watched it. He didn't watch Double or Nothing because he doesn't watch pay-per-views, but did you watch any of the matches from Double or Nothing, Jimmy?
I did not. Sorry.
There we go.
I heard Takeshita Okada was great. I heard Darby and MJF was whatever, slightly less than Takeshita and Okada is. And I heard all the shows, all the matches were really good. Outside of Mina, who's Mina, and that's what you get.
That was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Put a star on it.
3.5.
That's what? 3.5?
Yeah.
All right. It's okay. Hold on.
Cage match is 6.8, I think it was last time I checked.
8? That's fair enough, I guess. Yeah.
Am I right?
6.65.
Okay. So yeah. We got Alan who says, in Jimmy we trust, the real GOAT and Tony's op. No one has been more honest about Tony Khan than Jimmy Macram.
Oh.
He only verges on the side of bullying when he starts insulting Tony Khan for other things outside of his wrestling booking.
Oh, man. Now you can't make fun of crackheads. This is outrageous. But
what the hell? What the hell? It's going. Did we really need that in the opening like 10 minutes of the damn show?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
as a man, we all know people that hate women. We just do. It's part of the hazard. And it's not necessarily egregious, like where they're fucking shaking their hands up in the sky. It's just women make them sick. I know it when I see it. It's somebody who would rather not deal with them if he didn't have to.
Crazy.
Speaking of which,
Hi,
hello.
Hi, Jimmy. I couldn't hear you.
I didn't catch that part.
Hi.
No. Did you snatch the headphones?
Yeah, I got toys.
So why'd you take his headphones? That's rude.
Yeah.
Why is Jimmy your favorite?
I don't know. I like thin pencil toppers. Oh no, it's too wobbly.
Because you're trying to put your foot on my chair and I'm sitting in the chair.
Let's make a puzzle.
No.
Oh.
Okay, what are you doing? There you go. All right, you got the book.
Okay.
All right, I love you.
I love you too.
Aww.
Oh, I forgot.
Huh?
I couldn't hear Jimmy.
Okay. She just decided she's gonna sit in here for now, I guess. She couldn't hear Jimmy. We got Ace who says, "What's up, SP3, Jimmy, and Chad? AEW was a great show last night." We got Alan who says, "SP3 can't love everything, but then this wouldn't be True Heel Heat."
That's one way to put
This
it.
is an idea after your heart. We got Kevin Nash as Javon Evans' manager.
The most redeemed man in wrestling history. He gave him a hard time. People were rather rough on Kevin Nash. Oh, look how bold he is. I can't believe he said that. It's 2026. And then here we are. With Javon, not over. Trick Williams, over. I mean, this is just fucking mad. This is not a how I want to put this. This is not a fucking morality contest. This is not about the black diaspora. Well, we need the wide range of the black experience. This is fucking wrestling. What the fuck are you guys talking about? We want interesting people on TV. Sorry to break the fucking news to you. It is what it is. You know, sensible young black man is not interesting on fucking TV. That's not how that works.
We got some love for Harlem in the chat. I can't follow that. We got Annika with the best question. Where was Thekla?
What do you mean?
Your AEW Women's World Champion. 6 weeks. We're gonna do the Thekla without a live mic countdown. We are now 6 weeks in since Thekla last had a live mic on AEW Dynamite.
Fucking absurd. Makes no sense. When did Tony Storm go 6 weeks by the microphone? That is insane. What the fuck?
I'm doing
Oh.
a puzzle.
Fucking.
Yeah, insanity.
You know what? She's doing well.
Alan. Yeah, I mean, she's champion, and she skipped ahead of a lot of people. I'll give her that. Like, when she first came, I don't think anybody had her be an AEW World Champion less than a year in.
Not at all.
Yeah. Alan saying AEW will step up their women's division when WWE does. That shouldn't be the barometer.
Triple H cannot book anything to save his life because it's using AI, and he still books the women's division better than this shit. What is going on? I don't understand. How is a computer booking better than a fucking person? This makes no fucking sense.
Big Man Dog saying he thinks Ospreay and Samoa Joe was his favorite from Double or Nothing. That's I think this is the type of pay-per-view that you can hear like a lot of different answers in regards to what you thought was your like favorite matchup. Like my personal, if I said what was like my favorite match, not the best match, I probably would say MJF and Darby, because I felt like that was the best storytelling matchup. But it really depends on what style of wrestling you kind of enjoy, because I thought like Ospreay and Samoa Joe was like a modernized version of Joe versus AJ Styles from Turning Point 2005, which in my opinion is one of the greatest TNA matches of all time.
Really? Okay, so check those 3 out around the time. And you know what? I'll watch it during next week's Dynamite. Like this thing.
Next week's Dynamite is actually a good card.
I did. It's a loaded card at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it 3 hours?
No, it's 2 hours next week.
I'm gonna get a chance to watch this. I don't know.
Well, we can, since you didn't do it on your own, we could do my original idea of us watching Okada and Takeshita together.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't wait until you feel like you're about to finish. Before you're about to finish, pull it out, and then you don't have to deal with the consequences for 18, 21, 25 years. Maybe fucking 30 years ago, you had 18 years of consequences. This is 2026. In this economy, this is like 25, 30 years of consequences. It is what it is.
This guy, you're ridiculous. Fake Red Dog saying one of Samoa Joe's best matches in the last 20 years. Wow.
Ooh. Damn.
I might say you're not too far off. I would say. We got I thought that the Cope. I told Jimmy yesterday when we were filming GOAT match series that the Cage and Cope versus FTR is arguably the best Cage and Cope tag team 2-on-2 matchup since the Hardys ladder match from No Mercy 1999.
The match that started it all. Okay. Listen, you guys sold me. This is a fantastic pay-per-view. We're gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10, based on nothing except you guys' words.
The stamp of approval. I think it is. It's like what in Cage Match is like one of the highest rated shows of all time.
Well, Cage Match like
something 9.5 or something like.
Yeah, they rated out the fucking wazoo. I think it was 9.6. Last I checked. 9.65.
Yeah.
Fucking egregious.
Jesus. Yeah. We got Ace who says Swerve versus Bandito and Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita. It was my 2 favorite matches from Double or Nothing.
What do I want to say about this? We'll get to Swerve. I hope not.
9.
9. Sure, you know.
Don't take that. I don't like it. Don't take my earphones out.
They're not your earphones, lady. They're your dad's
I'm
earphones.
just stuck to listen to try to figure out what Jimmy is saying by the movements of his mouth. Because
take your earphones and put them back on your dad's head.
Okay.
I love that she listened to you. She just said okay.
Listen to this.
Yeah, see, you know you're a toddler whisperer. I can't say baby whisperer because she's definitely not a baby anymore.
Wait, 3, 4?
Now 6 now. Yeah. We got a bunch of votes for Takeshita versus Okada in the chat. That seems to be the consensus pick for the best match on the show. Like I said, I think anybody can have different favorites on the show, but best match, it seems like Takeshita and Okada is the vote.
I really wish this had played out differently. I think that could have been another turning point for Takeshita if this feud was done properly. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, but that's the thing. I said this on the review. I was like, they knew that they were going to over deliver when the bell rang, and they just said, no, we're not going to book it. Like, it could have been even bigger if they built it up properly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad I got both of what I wanted out of the matchup. Like we talked about last week. I said we're either going to get Takeshita winning or we could get some type of progression in the Don Callis story. And we got both. So it gave me what I wanted on the night.
Can't ask for much more than that. Outside of maybe good booking. Other than that,
Stop relying on these guys to do everything for you, Tony. Alan saying Harlem turning heel on SP3 is moment of the year. Big Red Dice says, I don't think it was as good as the Golden Age, Wrestle Kingdom, or Noah Dome shows, but one of the best shows I've ever seen. And I know you know Big Man Dogs. He's a hard critic to crack, and even he's saying it.
Okay. Maybe I'll sit down and outside of Mina, maybe I'll sit down and watch this fucking show.
He's gonna be like, "Oh wow, that was a great match. Oh wow, that was a great match." And then he's like, "Okay, fast forward." and then you can fast forward 2 matches because right after Mina, it's a Jon Moxley match, and you're just gonna be like, "All right, keep going."
Right.
And then,
yeah, no, I'm ready. That would be a regular length show. You skip those matches.
King Potato saying, I've watched Takeshita versus Okada 3 times. It's my favorite match of the show personally. I wish we got to that match in a more compelling way, but the match itself over-delivered on the feud. I'm planning on watching it again before True Hill Heat on Saturday because it's that good. I gotta watch it again. Right. I might have to watch that and the Tanahashi match to really determine what's the match of the year so far for me.
Is MJF now your runaway wrestler of the year?
Yes. Yes. That's the 2 matches of the year, the 2 Okada matches, the Tanahashi in January, and then this one with Takeshita. Show of the year is Double or Nothing, and then wrestler of the year is MJF. Women's wrestler of the year is like the most difficult of them all because AEW doesn't care and WWE doesn't try that hard.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I put on that fucking list. Yeah, we got time. I'm unimpressed.
Yeah,
not their fault. To be fair.
No, it's not the talent's fault. It's just the booking around it. I probably have to go to like Japan. Saya Kamatani, she's sold out. So put up numbers at the Yokohama Arena where she had, I think she set the record for Stardom last year with a career versus career matchup with Tam Nakano and ended her career, and then against a woman that's only been wrestling for like 3 years that's like the understudy of Tam Nakano. She sold more tickets this year. Like, she's the top draw in all of Japan right now. So she's probably the leader in my clubhouse. But Sarai is a good shout. Hashimoto's a good shout as well. So yeah. It's really in Japan, really, it seems like. Unless you're Dave Meltzer, and yeah, he'll probably go with Kendall Gray.
I can't knock it. I'm sorry. Every time I watch her, I'm so impressed. That's what I've been looking for.
She is. She's the female Kurt Angle. I said this when I saw her in Evolve, and I had people looking at me like I'm crazy. And then when Dave Meltzer started saying it, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, we get it now." I was like, saying this for months.
She's so fucking fluid. Unlike, hopefully we mentioned that's not very fluid, like a Daniel Garcia or Josh Alexander or people like this. This fluid? It's not fluid. Kendall Gray, Kurt Angle, Zack Sabre, Dragon. It just looks different when they do it, as opposed to those LARPers.
Will Chisholm bringing up New Japan being sold. Yeah, they sold their shares to Bushiroad, sold the shares of New Japan Pro Wrestling to Cyber Agent and TV-ASAHI. It's an interesting decision. I don't see it. I mean, it's interesting mainly because a Cyber Agent owns Bima, which was airing WWE, but now WWE in Japan is moving over to Netflix, so it kind of leaves the gap for them to kind of fill that in with New Japan. Bushiroad has kind of been broke for a while as well. This is kind of an inevitable move that they had to make here, and I think that the size and scale of TV-ASAHI and Cyber Agent is going to benefit New Japan long term.
How did they go broke? Every time I see something in New Japan, there's 1,000 fucking advertisers on the fucking mat. Where's this money going?
I don't know. King Davion saying it seems like people who may have not been AEW fans before are starting to watch it after Double or Nothing happened. Yeah, I saw multiple videos of WWE Mark who watched AEW and now it changed his mind coming out of Double or Nothing.
Listen, I always appreciate the fact that people can over their brains up to something different. I hope so. Let's go. Yeah.
What they really need to do is watch Misawa and Kawada like we did. That'll be up for GOAT Match series coming up. We'll probably drop it later today, so be on the lookout. Go to patreon.com/TrueHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content, and you can follow along with us as we're going to be watching some more Kings Road and classic Japanese pro wrestling over there for GOAT Match series. But with anything else we should mention, WWE or AEW adjacent, is there anything you wanted to bring up?
I don't think so. I heard Raw was good for what passes for good these days in WWE. I saw Knight got a live microphone for the first time in, I don't know, 1,000 days.
Since before Mania.
The fuck is going on? These people. I can't get Thekla live, mate. I can get LA Knight live. No offense. What else are they good for? That's what they do. This is fucking outrageous. No, I have nothing positive to comment on.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It just feels like WWE has just settled in the post-Mania lull, though.
To be fair,
it was like good, but still like inconsequential, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you typically take the personality of your leader and or your top star, and Roman is settled into a nice little gig here. It's fucking hilarious. He's all time in his lack of giving a fuck. He gives not a fuck about any of his stuff. All thing he cares about is making sure he's the top guy over Cody. I saw somebody say this politics between Roman and Cody is an all-out war. And I went, this is not a war. This is a genocide of some kind. Roman is watching this nigga every which way when it comes to politics. It's hilarious.
Dude, we talked about this the other day. We being Corey, where we was just like, why are people are surprised that Roman is the main event of Clash in Italy? I was like, this shit been over since Mania. What are y'all talking about? if they gonna be on the same show, Roman's the main event, Cody is the opener. That's how it works now.
It is what it is. I saw somebody else say, I've never seen an ace of the company treated this way, ever. Just because you're making a mistake. Cody's not the ace. What the fuck are we talking about? Let it go.
And if you've never seen the ace of the company, who was the last person y'all tried to give the ace to? Seth Rollins. He's been treated like that for years.
They really bought the hype. That's what it is. They bought into the QB1 horse shit.
Yeah, because it's never been like this where the main booker wants someone to be the top guy, but he's just not the top guy.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Like, even with Macho Man, he was never really the top guy. Vince never really anointed him the top guy. He was the top guy in terms of he's next to the top guy in the Mega Powers. And then he feuded with the top guy. That's how it worked. With Cody, it's like he wants to be it. Triple H wants it so bad. But TKO, the fans, Roman, the bloodline are all saying, nah, bro, he's still here.
All right. And Triple H can't do anything because he needs his job. And you need your top star to be the top star. Oh, shit.
That's wild. That's wild. WWE Lex Luger, Cody Rhodes.
I'm sure Triple H sees some of himself in Cody. He works hard. Margin's not the right word. He's a very good talent, but not of the level of actual number ones. I'm sure he wants to see Cody's hard work pay off. But sorry. Hard work doesn't make up for whatever the fuck Roman's got. Triple H can lift all the fucking weights he wants. It doesn't make up for whatever the fuck The Rock has got. It just doesn't. Sorry. Life's not fair. And 20 years later, it's still not fair. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. You'll get over it. Well, maybe you won't.
Either or. All right, let's get into last night's AEW Dynamite. Dynamite took place from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What did you think about the crowd in Philly?
Quiet for a Philly crowd. I was a little concerned. They were fine. Mostly.
Thought they were good overall. So the show kicks off with Excalibur welcoming us alongside Tony Schiavone and Taz as we go over Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland advancing in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament at Double or Nothing. And tonight we will see the two other qualifying quarterfinal matches in the tournament. We then go back to Double or Nothing after the show. Renee Paquette caught up with Will Ospreay after his win, saying he's over the moon with about his win before going to the doctor when he runs into Kenny Omega already there with an ice pack on his neck. Omega wants to address the elephant in the room. He brings up the Death Riders, who he is no stranger to. He's worried because he feels like Ospreay can't trust them, as they do what they say they'll do. And they've hurt both Omega and Ospreay in the past. He says they put you on the shelf. They broke your neck. Omega questions why Ospreay would even deal with that and didn't ask him for help instead. Ospreay says because Omega wasn't there. He hasn't been around as of late. Omega said he's got his own way of going about things and way to bounce back like he used to, both in and out of the ring. He says it's not even a physical thing. It's more of a mental thing for him. Omega gets the appeal of the Death Riders. They get the job done. He's not saying not to trust them, but just be careful as a friend. Then we see Jimmy Macram's op himself, Jon Moxley, walks in saying, that's some good advice. And he gives Ospreay an ice pack. He says they've all got skeletons in their closet, don't we? Moxley hands off the ice pack and then tells Ospreay that the truck is outside. So now Ospreay is traveling with the Death Riders. Omega says that he'll always be there for Will, and he told Omega not to give up on that world title dream. Omega said, "You too." I thought this was a really good segment. I love these heart-to-hearts between Omega and Ospreay. It has a level of realism where you needed someone with the credibility and the history with Ospreay to basically question him. It was like Omega was playing the role of a lot of the kind of naysayers against this whole storyline, and I felt good to kind of see that play out on screen. And Omega plays like he could be this over-the-top like version of a pro wrestler. We've seen that when he was AEW World Champion and the belt collector. But as of late, he feels like a actual real person when he talks in these backstage segments, and it helps to enhance the whole story that's going on with Ospreay and Moxley. Really enjoyed this opening segment here. What did you think?
Yeah, Omega feels like somebody who remember Kevin Owens was talking about Elias and who's the other one?
What was it? Elias and Elijah.
Yes, Kevin Owens was the only person who knew they were the same fucking person. Kenny Omega was the only person that watched the fucking program. He's the only person that's just like, what is going on? I don't broke their fucking neck. What are we doing? What is going on here? Yeah, it was really good. The way they talked to each other. It feels like an obvious passing of the torch, but yeah. Listen, if you're gonna point it out, you do kind of open yourself up to more problems. Omega pointing out how stupid this all is leads to us remembering how stupid this all is. What are we doing?
Do you think that this is another kind of some people think it's a red herring, and then there's people like me is hoping that this is leading to something? Do you think that this is another hint of Omega eventually getting the world title and facing Ospreay at All In?
Well, the way this is framed, I cannot see Omega winning the belt before Ospreay. It just doesn't feel that way. I'm not against it. It could be a fun match. If you want an obvious passing of the torch from Omega to Ospreay as the guy in AEW. But I don't know. Let's say that's the match. You can do what? MJF and Andrade at fucking Wembley?
I mean, that would be the biggest match you can get him outside of the world title picture.
This guy fucking does all this, and then he's not rewarded with the main event. The Rock fucking carries you all year, and then you do Austin versus Triple H at Mania. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
How that work? Like, how that work? Like, what the fuck?
I don't understand. I'm sticking with MJF Ospreay. I can't see it otherwise.
We got Dion. This is another tease for a potential Ospreay versus Omega match. We got Annika who says, "Oh my gosh, please run Kenny versus Moxley back." Bump Jimmy, we'll see you on Thursday. Still runs rent free in my head. Oh yeah, when Omega won the world title. Yes. Big Man Dog says Kenny is a very empathetic character because he acknowledges that Ospreay is a dumbass. He's like, I wish he would have said it. Like, do you have Stockholm syndrome? Like, we can get you help, bro. Like,
last time you had a CAT scan. Fucking dope.
Like, I know your neck was hurting, but I didn't think your head was. I feel like because this was more contentious than their heart-to-heart following Dynasty, I feel as we get closer to all in, it might get more contentious between them.
And All In is in August?
Yeah.
Unless we're doing a triple threat, I can't see Omega Network to world title match.
Triple threat. I mean, they have never done a triple threat in the main event of Wembley in the 3 shows they've done, so.
Maybe. Listen.
And what's bigger than Ospreay beating MJF or beating Omega is beating both of them to win the world title.
Very true. That could be interesting. Especially when Moxley comes down and hands him the belt and puts the belt around his face. Slaps him on the back. That's why
I hate you.
What's that rumble? Fucking rock and roll. Fucking. This is the guy. It's really me, but this. Have a peek. Don't boo him.
We got Alan who says Omega versus Ospreay is a real slow burn, but will be a world title match. When will the match happen? I don't know. There's some people who think it will be Wembley Stadium. There's some people who are saying in the chat Redemption. So there's a lot of different directions they can go. Big Man Dog saying heel Kenny versus Ospreay after All In would be awesome in my opinion. Okay.
That should be Kenny's character. He loses his fucking mind of all the nonsensical choices being made on the fucking program. He just can't take it anymore. What is going on?
Why am I the only one that's paying attention here? Your wife is right there. She's not talking to you.
I remember that. That was fucking hysterical.
Then we get our boy Jimmy. We called it last week and it came true at Double or Nothing. Don't let the Jet down. Kevin, the Jet Knight, our TNT champion, kicks off the show in the building. We see footage of Knight turning on Darby Allin after the conclusion to the main event on Sunday. He's drowned out with "fuck you, Kevin" chants and "shut the fuck up" chants. As Knight said, he told Allin not to let him and the fans down, which is exactly what he did. He blew it. Knight says, just like the Sixers did against the Knicks, they let us down. He was like, why y'all booing me? I did this for you. Knight decided he's not going to trust the process, which got so much booze even more any longer. Instead, he is taking matters into his own hands, asking who was the last person MJF was humbled by. That's right, it was the Jet. As it should have been the Jet in the main event of Double or Nothing. Instead, he was watching from the sidelines. He asks the crowd if he looks like a bench player, and they start chanting, yes, yes, yes. As Knight says, he's here to take over this whole damn company. Knight put trust in Darby, who told him never to waste any time, which is exactly what the Jet did, leaving Darby in a pool of his own blood. Then a very sharp-dressed Speedball Mike Bailey comes out to interrupt.
Oh, good Lord.
Kevin Knight's tag team partner. He storms out saying that he knows how vicious Knight is. It's his best and worst quality. He is ever so ambitious, which is what makes them such a great team. But Knight, he knows him better than anyone. He's also impatient. He gets ahead of himself and he makes mistakes, which is what he did to Darby on Sunday. Bailey says that it's not too late. If he apologizes, they can still make things right. He offers a hand to the Jet, and Knight thinks about it before looking like he's going to shake his hand, but instead he brushes past him, bumping his tag team partner with his shoulder. Instead of leaving the ring, he instead turns around and he pops Speedball with the microphone in the head. Knight faked leaving once again, but before he did that, he once again turned back around. He picked up Bailey and he dropped him with a Uranagi. Taz was absolutely thrilled with all of this, complimenting Knight's decision, saying that Speedball got a little too ahead of himself, should have never questioned his tag team partner, as the Jet has clearly shown that he has turned a new leaf. It was since his heel turn at Double or Nothing, and Jet Speed is now officially dead. I thought Kevin Knight, you could tell he was kind of uncertain at the start of the promo, but I think as he was getting the heat from the crowd, he got more and more confident, and I thought the promo got better as it went along. I liked him mentioning, like, he's like, why y'all booing me? I did this for you. The Jet, I love that he kept going with the cocky, the Jet kind of dialogue here. I like Speedball being the very naive Canadian babyface who just thought that everything could be solved by apologizing, and then Knight dropping him as a result of that. We would hear from Speedball later on in the show, and we'll get to that later. But what did you think about this opening segment here?
I say gave me. Let's start positively. By the end of all this, I was very happy. I don't know why. I didn't know why until I just saw Speedball's outfit again. And it's because these are people who I haven't watched the last 15 fucking years. Thank God. Or the last 5 years on AEW TV. These are relatively newer people getting the spotlight. And it makes me very happy. That's why I watch AEW. Well, I watch it because I'm a slave. But if I was not, I would watch
Please don't get paid.
I would watch it for people like this. The Jet wasn't great, but he wasn't panic button uncomfortable. He was solid for a first promo as a heel. For somebody who hasn't been talking for forever, this was solid enough. This wasn't Jack Perry's Beethoven fucking promo. This was actually closer to the fucking Rocks promo. It's very generic. Why Kevin? Why? But it worked mostly. Ironically, Speedball being an idiotic white meat babyface worked for me really well. Like I bought into Speedball doing the right thing here. He wasn't whining about it. He was just telling, "Hey, I'm a 50-year-old man, and you're a kid, and you're gonna listen to what I have to say, and you're gonna do the right thing here." And Kevin Knight was like, "No." I like Motors. This was solid stuff.
Yeah. We got Davion that said Speedball had that tarp inspired suit on. King Matei says Speedball dressed like a typewriter salesman in 1970.
I was like, is that a big ass suit? What the fuck is he wearing? It's a gi? It's a gi suit? What the fuck is this?
A gi suit. Freaking Big Man Dog says Speedball was dressed like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ew. Drop you just for that. Good Lord.
We got Big Man Noise that says, I have to say though, Obi-Wan is much better than t-shirt and sweatpants like the old days of AEW.
That's true. You've seen the style pick up recently. Outside when Omega's on TV and he's dressed like the biggest bum that ever lived.
I liked his New Japan sweatsuit though. He was looking fly in that shit. Greater Than Arl says, I love how Speedball's existence gets on the nerves of pro wrestling traditionalists.
Wearing him down slowly, but
you bastard with that fit on.
But wearing him down slowly but surely. He took off the fucking headband. Here he was wearing fucking shoes. Hey, slowly but surely. Let's get that stupid gi off. Some style representative of the fucking decade you live in. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Mike Bailey with that Karate Kid outfit. I love how this is just turned into the roast of Speedball's outfit.
I'm glad they turned him. I'm glad they turned Kevin Knight.
Yeah.
Because as much as you all fucking loved him up until this point, he was the walking equivalent of those Andrade and Carmelo matches. He comes out to complete fucking silence. He tears the fucking house down. And then next week, he comes out to complete fucking silence. It's the same thing every week. And this time, he got some actual heat. So here's hoping.
Yeah, I liked it. He definitely did get plenty of heat. And that's how you know it was an effective heel turn. And also, I will say, like, now that it's over, the Darby Allin, like we talked about it in depth, that Darby was probably the coldest he's ever been in AEW when he won the AEW World Championship. But man, has his title run kind of elevated him as one of the top baby faces, like cemented him as like a made man in AEW, because it shows just how much he is like loved by these fans, because the fans just immediately showered Kevin Knight with boos because he turned on Darby.
That's true. I can't wait for him to feud with Knight and then lose and feud with, I don't know, Orange Cassidy or whoever the fuck. And we'll be right back to saying Darby's a bum. Sorry. No disrespect. Love Darby.
You just expect the worst, don't you? And just get surprised if you get anything better than that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Then we get backstage. We got Ricochet and the Demand as Renee Paquette interviews him and asks if Jericho has momentum going into tonight's match following getting the pin in the Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing. Ricochet says that Jericho got lucky, and Khan says that it was because they attacked him 7-1. Ricochet says that he's got 2 wins over Jericho, and everyone will find out what Jericho already knows. He's Ricochet, and he's out of this world. This leads to a rematch from AEW Dynasty. Chris Jericho going one-on-one with Ricochet, and this time everyone is banned from ringside. Excalibur says that Jericho had a pretty sizable welt on his leg from Stadium Stampede, and we see his dive onto the table that didn't break and how it hurt his hip. Ricochet is quick out the gate with a series of drop kicks and a slingshot dive to the outside. He follows up with a springboard lariat and hits a running shooting star press for 2. He goes immediately after the injured hip. Ricochet front suplex Jericho onto the announce table before both men climb atop, where Jericho does a double leg and he gets the walls of Jericho on the announce table. Ricochet fought back onto the apron and swept out Jericho's leg as he crashed down, slamming him into the steel steps to take control. Both men fought back up on the apron where Jericho escaped a fireman's carry. He spiked Ricochet with a Death Valley driver before both causing the to crumble to the outside. We got the yay ball dueling chants as they slugged it out into the ring. Ricochet pulled Jericho by the hair over the top rope, caught him with a springboard drop kick and a tope suicida to follow. We get a corkscrew plancha connects as Ricochet connects with a brainbuster on the floor and then ordered Aubrey to count out Jericho. Jericho makes it back in, but he rolls right into a springboard Phoenix Splash from Ricochet. Ricochet tries to go for the spirit gun, but he whiffs as Jericho sweeps out the legs and he goes for the walls of Jericho. You get Ricochet who fights and fights, but Jericho is not able to stay that long on the bad knee and he has to give up the hold. Jericho misses the Judas effect as Ricochet leans against Aubrey, who Jericho nearly clocked. This allows for Ricochet to go for a low blow, and he hits the Rico Saw, getting a near fall and shows his frustration. We get placing Jericho in position. Ricochet goes up to the top rope, but he crashes and burns on the 630. Very rare that he busts that out. Jericho pops up. He hits the code breaker. He gets a 2 count. He hits the Judas effect, completely waffling Ricochet, and then he follows up with the Lion Salt and gets the 1-2-3. I thought this was a good opener. Ricochet and Jericho worked pretty well with one another. The crowd was into the matchup as well, and I thought that they had a nice story with the injury from the Stadium Stampede that worked into the matchup, and then Jericho pulling it out in the end to finally beat Ricochet and seemingly end this rivalry, which is very rare for a Jericho feud. 2 months or nearly 2 months of a rivalry, and now it's done. God bless. We might have seen a big change in Jericho's trajectory in AEW if this is it for the Ricochet feud, because right after the matchup, we get Tommaso Ciampa, who attacks Jericho from behind. He blindsides him. He chokes him with his t-shirt. He wears down Jericho with right hands. He lowers his knee pad, and he delivers the running knee strike to knock out Jericho before taunting Jericho by putting his foot over his chest and does the Jericho "come on baby" pose as he stands tall over the former AEW World Champion. What did you think about Ricochet and Jericho and the post-match with Ciampa's attack?
The reason I like Speedball and Kevin Knight is because I haven't seen these people the last 15 fucking years. And then here we fucking go. Good Lord. Oh. If these two got released tomorrow, I'd be a happier man. And AEW would be the better for it. But that's not going to happen, unfortunately. The match was fine. It's fine for what it was, which is driving me crazy. 15 minutes. It was the wrestling equivalent of a cheap pop. It's just everything is just, oh good Lord. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. This is how you earn stars, and I'm just bored out of my fucking mind. I hated every part of this. Then Ciampa attacking him afterwards. Great. More WWE guys who peaked 10 years ago. Fantastic.
Wow, really? Ciampa peaked 10 years ago?
Shit. You don't think he did? You think he's peaking now at however fucking old he is? Was he Ric Flair? Sorry.
I would say maybe he peaked like 8 years ago.
Oh, well, excuse the fuck out of me. Come on, man. What are we doing? We have guys here. We don't need these people.
You like Ciampa. Well, you say you like Ciampa when he wrestles.
I like his matches mostly, but he's one of those unethical motherfuckers too. Everybody from the AEW time period, the NXT time period is unethical, typically. Gargano, Adam Cole, all fucking, what do you call that? All cheat codes. All cheat codes to a good match, which is leg slaps and flips and kicking out of finishers. Oh, good Lord. How did you do that? How did you pull that match off? Oh, bullshit. I tried watching one of those fucking things the other day. Just fucking stunk.
Oh, now you're just taunting me because now we're going to have to watch one of the NXT classics for Go Back Series.
Gargano and Cole or fucking Ciampa and whoever the fuck out. Good Lord. Enough. I'm so glad that time period is mostly over. Yeah, this was fine. I suppose.
Unethical 3.25.
Yes. Fucking unethical. Look at that kick out. Oh, shit, kick out. Oh, and then he did a lion salt. Oh,
King Potato says equivalent to a cheap pop is the best description of this match. What this match was.
Jarring.
Here it is. Harl says TK is booking Jericho for ratings. To be fair, is it equating to ratings? I'm not sure.
Well, when he came back, the ratings dropped. Even before the Nielsen change. I'm not blaming him for it. I'm just saying. Hell of a coincidence.
Hell of a coincidence, huh? Oh man. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Ricochet and Ricochet can move on now. Here we got Alan who says, "No, come on, SP3. You know this feud isn't over. Ciampa is just joining this vortex. We still have 7 more months of this. Let me be comfortable in my bliss here. Don't try to pop my bubble."
Yeah, Ricochet move on to somebody. Who cares? Move on to ROH.
Jesus, why do you hate Ricochet so much?
He's unbelievable. And I mean, unbelievable is fantastic. I mean, I don't believe things he does.
He's out of this world, meaning I don't want him in this one.
Somebody who I don't buy. I don't buy anything he's ever said or done. I don't buy him on Twitter. I don't buy him with this character he's got now. I didn't buy him with the scissors. At least the scissors was fun.
Okay, fair enough. Andrade El Idolo is backstage and he's talking about how the stupid Stadium Stampede is now over so he can focus on winning the AEW World Championship and beating MJF. Does MJF really think he's better than Andrade? If so, how you know? I love that this has become his catchphrase. He's just gonna keep using it.
Let's say everything's just building up to his fucking catchphrase.
He's like it works for my cousin Rush. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna get how you know over.
I think this match happens before All In. So we'll say what's next pay-per-view?
Forbidden Door. He seems like someone that you can position as the Forbidden Door challenger for MJF.
Yeah, Forbidden Door or whatever that fruity one they have coming up. No disrespect. I was talking about the graphics of it all. What's it called? Redemption?
Yeah, in July.
Yeah, well, that one.
Yeah. Or they save it for the road to All In and he does it in Arena Mexico.
That'd be great. Yeah. That would be dope.
Yeah. I just think they're building it up for a big show. I wouldn't mind it if he was the challenger at Forbidden Door, though. That would be a big time matchup, and it's shaving up there. That's going to be a really good card with whoever MJF versus. You got presumably Ospreay and Swerve in the Owen Men's Cup finals. And then we're going to talk about later the whole Takeshita and Fletcher. And that seems like another Forbidden Door matchup.
We're talking about Collision?
Yeah.
Actually, watch that fucking nonsense.
They fooled you because they went the transition and then they figured out Fletcher and Takeshita. You're like, fuck, I'm watching Collision.
Fell 40 in. The Fell 40 in award.
He's like, God damn it, how did they do that to me? We got up next the Superstation Showcase 4-way matchup. Orange Cassidy versus the Blackheart, Lio Rush. Shout outs to Lio Rush, who provided us with our newest drop here on the channel. Shout outs to True Jaw Josh for getting that.
Shout out to Lio Rush for a fucking drop. Wasn't this nigga chastising us for mocking Hulk Hogan when he died? Fuck this nigga. Absolutely not. Fuck out of here.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Fair
enough. Brian Cage of the Don Callis family and Rush. Cassidy's new shirt. He's got a new shirt on. It looks cool. It's a sideways face on his chest, and you can have your sunglasses rest perfectly as if Cassidy is wearing them. During Rush's entrance, you get Leo, who is already leaking black liquid from his mouth, told the camera that they're twins, which was hilarious that they have the same name, but it's definitely pronounced differently. You can see Orange was basically thrown off by a Blackheart Lio Rush in this one. You get Cassidy and Leo were dispatched early as Rush and Cage started slugging it out in the ring. We get a botched head scissors from Cage, who took Rush over enough as both no-sold lariats and then popped up. Rush then hit a snap German suplex, but Cage responded with a pop-up DVD for 2. We get Cassidy and Leo broke things up as Cassidy looked genuinely scared once again of Leo as he ramped up with his little kicks. Leo did his misdirection and tried a sunset flip, but Cassidy went to the pockets and rolled through. He hits his drop kick and kip up combination to stand tall. Leo avoided a dive with the headstand kick, but ran into Cage's clutches. Leo hits a Hurricane Rana and then another handstand kick before galloping around the ring. He tries for a tope, but Cage catches him, which leads to Cassidy running in and hits a tope to take down both men. Rush teases a dive, but then does the LFI pose. They get some chaos breaks out later on in the matchup after Cage spikes Leo with a Falcon Arrow as Cage did the deal for a near fall. Cassidy dove off the top rope and countered a suplex and a stun dog millionaire on Cage. He followed up with a spinning DDT and got a 2 count. He does a diving tornado DDT to the floor on Cage before Rocky Romero and Lance Archer arrived and confronted Cassidy. Archer blocks an orange punch as Rocky gets booted, and then Archer eats the orange punch. But then as Orange turns around, he is attacked from Jake Doyle, who blindsides him, making his return to AEW. Soon thereafter, you get Orange's AEW World Trios Champions tag team partner, Roderick Strong. He rushes to ringside. He starts brawling with Jake Doyle as Archer carries Orange away, taking him out of this matchup. It is now a singles match. It's Rush versus Rush. As they faced off, you get the crowd right behind Blackheart Lio Rush chanting Leo, Leo. Leo caught him with a bounce bag stunner and then a misdirection spear for 2. Leo leaped off the top rope, but Rush caught him with a right hand. Quickly outside, you get Leo who was smashed by Rush, who drove him into multiple barricades. He choked Leo with the cable cords at ringside. Since it's a 4-way, there's no DQ. Back inside, Rush stomped down in the corner on Leo before delivering the bull's horns for the 1-2-3 to pick up another victory here. And this one felt like the first legitimate victory out of all of his winning streak so far. So I felt good thinking that Rush was going to probably be in line for an AEW World Championship matchup, because they actually gave him a win over signed talent. Matchup is to give him a win before he's about to get a title shot. What did you think about the matchup? I thought it was fun for what it was, and I like that Blackheart Leo Rush, for better or worse, this gimmick is getting over with the fans.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Wrestling fans are known for their fucking idiocy and enjoyment of fucking, since Junkyard Dog, they've been known for their enjoyment of Negroes running around acting like fucking animals. No, this was I don't know. I don't care. Don't want to care. I was mad that you were talking. This is wasting my fucking time. I'm mad at myself now talking. This is also wasting my time. So yeah, that's it. The only thing that came out of this was Jake Doyle. I should tell you enough about this fucking match.
Are you happy to see Jake Doyle back?
No. I'm not happy to see somebody somewhere whoever the fuck back. No, thank you, sir.
Jake something somewhere somehow.
Good Lord, what is going on? Where did the stars go?
You don't like Rush getting a win? Your
No.
boy. Like Rush.
Over what's his name? Not Leo Rush.
Leo Rush.
The Blackheart? No.
Blackheart Leo Rush.
No. And Orange Cassidy. And who's the other one?
Brian Cage.
And Jobber to the stars of that match is hilarious. No, I don't particularly care. Listen, I'm glad you all like it.
We got Big Man Dogs. This is what is Rampage was this match? What in the Rampage was this match?
Anus. Fuck. It's like they can't get a mic. You get the rest. What the fuck's going on?
Alan Banky says, "What the hell is this AEW dark match doing on my TV stream?" This was a WWE Superstars on WGN America 4-way match.
What the fuck is going on? House show ass
Alan,
match.
Someone should have told Tony ROH is Thursday night, not Dynamite.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Oh, this is awesome. This is a great idea. Big Man Dog say Leo Rush should win the AEW national title and call it My Precious.
That'd be fun. I'm not against that.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, he got one of the biggest pops at Double or Nothing when he had his reunion with Bobby Lashley during Stadium Stampede.
This nigga's embarrassing, man. All right, whatever. Okay, good Lord.
I just love when you hate something so much that I enjoy.
Leo Rush is the perfect combination of everything I hate. Embarrassing in the ring, fucking coon out of the ring. Like, this is a lot. At least Swerve is good. Like, good Lord.
Renee Burkett is backstage awaiting the new AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, who walks in dragging the AEW World title. He drops it on the floor as we see that he is now carrying the Triple B once again. Kevin Knight walks in and interrupts MJF, thanking MJF, though he thanks him for what he did after the main event, saying that he knows Knight wanted to show off for him and says that he appreciates that. Knight says that it wasn't for MJF, it's because Darby Allin blew his shot. MJF said that's fine. He'll see Knight around, but Knight says that he'll be beating MJF the next time around and he'll take that AEW World Championship from him. MJF leaves out, and then Knight turns around to walk into the former TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher, who says, "Nice title you got there." Don Callis walks in and says, "So much young athleticism. Is this territory safe?" Callis says if Knight ever wants to get serious about being Jet 2 belts, you know where to find him. This was interesting. I like when the fact that we've been seeing a lot in AEW as of late, these heels teasing matchups against one another. It's very rare in AEW that you get to see that.
It's not gonna happen. So what's the point?
Hey, you never know.
Which of these matches happen in Zone? I'll let you pick. I'll let you get the pick of the litter. I assume this was because these are the three new. We won't call them pillars. That's been shat on enough. 3 new mainstays of the division moving forward. Kevin Knight, who they've decided they're going to push them on. They're over Swerve. Good. Fucking. And MJF and Kyle Fletcher, who is fantastic. It looks like, speaking of Kevin Nash, looks like Kevin Nash sitting next to these two niggas. I'm here for this. I'm here for all this.
King Potato saying Fletcher looked like a monster standing next to Kevin. I'm afraid we're gonna have to give old Kyle his belt back.
Yeah, I don't think he wants that belt.
Nah, I'm ready for him to move on. I think moving on, just a slight step up is the international title. I'm fine with him going after that. That's why I like him just saying, "Nice belt you got there," instead of teasing he's coming after it.
Please don't. Is Kevin Knight gonna join the faction?
I don't know. That would be interesting. That would solidify the heat he's gonna get if he does that, because that's like the cheat code of AEW to get heat as a heel. Don Callis.
And they're down a star, obviously. 2, because Okada may never come back.
Okada's like, I'm done. I got you. I did 2 matches of the years. My year's over.
Okay. I can use some replenishing. I'm here for it.
We get a video package from Mark Briscoe talking about how he hears a little voice in his head telling him that he's ready for more in AEW following his victory over Tommaso Ciampa last week in the Anything Goes matchup. We then go backstage to Renee Paquette, who is with the Brawling Birds, as Jamie Hayter talks about her loss in the 4-way matchup at Double or Nothing, saying that next time she will take the title from Thekla, who she at least got to take her head off at the pay-per-view. Then Alex Windsor is asked about the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. She says it's unfortunate about Willow Nightingale's injury, but when she returns, they can throw down. Paquette asks about facing the wild card and how it's unknown, as Windsor says that she fought all over the world and will prove she deserves to be part of the conversation as being one of the best in the world. She brings up both herself and her sweet old Billy chasing their Wembley dreams alongside one another. As Hayter says that either one way or another, the Birds will come out on top. And we learn that Windsor will face the wild card next week on AEW Dynamite from Richmond, Virginia. Any thoughts on this promo from the Birds?
Let's find it. Oh, I hate that fucking face she's making. Let's find enough.
Duck face.
Yeah, let's find enough. I don't think it's Mercedes. There wasn't a lot of builds here, mostly about them. So I assume it's somebody not returning. Yeah, Hayter was solid. Windsor was solid. Good for us.
Yeah. Would it be interesting if it's Jamie Hayter herself?
Yes, that'd be fucking fantastic. What an inspired idea. It's never going to happen.
Yeah. Maybe it's that after the main event. After the main event of this show, Statlander maybe comes in, replaces her best friend.
Okay, I can see that. Would you put Stat over?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting story to tell. I'm more interested in that story, her trying to win it for Willow, than Windsor trying to match Billy's Wembley dream. Even though that's like the only story that we got going into this women's tournament.
Yeah. Jesus. This is hilarious.
But I agree. Solid promo there. King Potato agrees with you, saying Okada gave his second 5-star banger, so he's done for the rest of the year.
Yeah, hard pass. I'm done. I did what I was supposed to do. Let me know when I'm obligated to come back.
He's like, I gave one to you, Tony. I gave my repentance to New Japan. I gave them one. I gave one to Tanahashi on his way out. I put over your boy or my boy Takeshita. It's over. I'm done.
See you in 27.
I think though the post match, you'll see it when we watch the matchup. I think the post match does open the door though for a 3-way between the top 3 previous guys in the Don Callis family.
Sure.
Then we get Maxwell, Jacob Freeman, MJF with his AEW World Title celebration. Balloons are in the ring that say 3 as Justin Roberts introduces the three-time AEW World Champion MJF, who is carried out on a throne. He gets a good reaction from this Philadelphia crowd. He gets on the mic and he says, Darby Allin is probably hanging his head in shame as yet again he defeated him with a move as basic as the headlock takeover. More importantly, pro wrestling has been around since the 1800s, and only 8 men in major promotions have been world champion 3 times by 30 years of age. They'll be writing about MJF in the history books, and until the sun explodes. MJF hopes these schmucks are consonant how lucky they are to witness greatness in real time. It's the greatest era imaginable because it's all about MJF. He's a three-time champion of the world. He is the #1 wrestler in the world. Ain't nobody close. A generational talent. And as the fans need to do right now is bow before the greatest of all time. A massive banner saying 3-time world champion falls from the sky as MJF has confetti raining down on him. When the music of Mark Briscoe hits to interrupt this celebration,
oh Lord,
Briscoe immediately comes over and he tears down the banner to some cheers from the Philly crowd. Briscoe says that MJF doesn't really fit in Philadelphia. It's like how a penguin is watering through a desert and not one of those exotic penguins either. You hear MJF audibly said, "What the fuck are you even talking about?" They're in Philly where some of the toughest human beings live, and MJF sticks out like a sore thumb. Tough MJF is not. Briscoe says that MJF is so self-absorbed and actually believes he's better than everyone. He was like, you don't just say it, you actually believe it. So let him remind MJF that it wasn't too long ago that Briscoe pinned his shoulders to the mat 1, 2, 3. Therefore, Briscoe wants a world title shot, and he asks if MJF is just going to continue to be a soft little bitch, or will he man up? MJF says no. Because unlike everyone in this company, he understands AEW is a business. And optically speaking, it's bad enough that emo freak Darby Allin even sniffed the world title. You think Mark Briscoe can be champion? And he audibly laughs. If Briscoe challenged for the title, it'll probably put this entire company out of business. And he says that he is nowhere near the level of the devil. MJF walks past Briscoe and walks out of the ring. He makes his way up the aisle and he stares down with Briscoe until the music of Rush hits. Rush walks out behind MJF and he says that MJF says that he's a fighting champion. But it's funny. Briscoe is a chicken farmer while MJF is chicken shit. This gets a pop from the crowd.
Of course it does, fucking idiots.
Rush says he's almost beaten MJF before and talked about his challenge made for the title. And if you mess with the bull, you get the horns. MJF says, MJF asks if Rush thinks he's cool, that he's bilingual. He says he's not the only guy who can speak different languages, so listen up, senor. If anyone has earned a title shot, it's Rush. He's like, look at you. You got a good look, a cute catchphrase. You're way more marketable than that piece of shit Briscoe. And he asks if Rush wants a title shot tonight. And Rush agrees, but then MJF gets close and says, psych! Next week for the world title, the Bull is about to lock horns with the devil. I love the fact that you had Rush who called him a chicken shit, and maybe he was like calling his bluff, but the fact that MJF once again showing his fatal flaws of his insecurity and being talking down by somebody, he proves that he's really not a chicken shit at heart. He's very impulsive and he's willing to take a challenge. So despite Rush challenging him just a few days after he won the world title, he's willing to accept it, but he's only going to accept it on his terms, on his time, when he's well prepared instead of on the night of. He says next week. He shows that although he is the top heel, he's not a chicken shit heel whatsoever. I love that about MJF, and I thought he was marvelous throughout this entire segment. I like Mark Briscoe coming out, bringing out his history with MJF, being one of the last guys that beat MJF without MJF getting his lick back, without getting a win back against him. All the other guys that have beaten MJF recently, he's gotten his win back, but Briscoe is one of the few that is left that he hasn't. And then we set up a big title match for next week on Dynamite. It will be Rush going one-on-one with MJF for the AEW World Championship. What did you think about this celebration here?
I told you when Darby first won this belt that we can't, maybe a couple weeks after, we can't keep having mid-carders around the world title. They're less than the world title. And here we go with fucking Mark Briscoe and fucking Rush. But you know what? In and of itself, it was solid. I don't want to hear how the crowd popped. You're a bitch. Ooh. Chicken shit. Ooh. Bunch of fucking dopes like cats with a fucking laser in their face. Ooh. I hate them so very much. Good Lord. MJF's new wrinkle to his character. I assume playing off his new feelings over the last year or two, where he actually cares about AEW. I buy his Mark Briscoe not being marketable, and I buy his Rush's marketable. That's why you guys still say. I know part of it is that he's, I don't say afraid of Mark Briscoe, but he's certainly afraid of Mark Briscoe more than he's afraid of fucking Rush.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make Rush look great. You say he's not chicken shit. It makes Rush look a bitch. Why is MJF of all people accepting your fucking challenge like that? Good Lord. What?
I feel a certain way.
But hey, that was fun. That was mostly fun. If we can get this over as fast as possible, that'd be great. We have some actual fucking main eventers in the world title picture. Not that there are many fucking left. That'd be great. Thank you. I don't ask too much.
Big Red Dog says he thought that Mark was good here, though. We got Dion who says, I like Mark Briscoe, but we doing this again. I don't care for Rush either. Andrade should have been the guy to interrupt MJF. Well, you should have known when they did the backstage segment that he wasn't going to come out. They are slow burning that. I feel like if you are gonna give like AEW World Title matches on TV, then this would be two guys that MJF can defend it against on TV, unless they're gonna prolong the Briscoe matchup until Forbidden Door.
Oh, God. We're missing some talent here. Not, that sounds more insulting than but I mean like Jay White and.
Well, Jay White is still on the shelf.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jay White and Kenny Omega and Hangman. These are all main eventers that are missing. So we're forced to deal with the fucking bottom of the bucket.
Bottom of the bucket is wild. It's wild, sir.
Rush is getting a world title shot.
Yes. That's my guy. When you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
You got a great look. You got a catchphrase. That's fucking hilarious. He's a producer now.
You got a great look. You got some things working in your favor, sir. I think you got a bright future. Pal. Oh man, but yeah, good stuff from MJF, Rush, and Mark Briscoe from this week with this promo here. And yeah, MJF, the one thing with MJF, like I said, I have loved the Darby Allin title reign, but as far as when it comes to basically the overall direction of the company, when MJF is the world champion, it just feels like the company is more focused and knows what it's doing. As far as the men's division goes.
Yeah, at least, yes. That's a good way to put it. Yes. I assume it's because, well, first of all, I'm just biggest star in this place. And number two, MJF gives a fuck, clearly. MJF was a woman, the women's division would be better off. So he would not allow himself to be booked like fucking nonsense.
We need MJF to get a liking to one of these women. He likes Kris Statlander. That's probably why Statlander was in the main event.
That's true. What's his wife doing? So to put on some fucking trunks.
Then we had your favorite time of the show, Jack Perry. He is here on the Jurassic Express bus saying that he's had his battles with Mark Davis, and now the stakes tonight are higher than they've ever been. This might just be the beginning of Jack Perry's World Title Express tour. And if you don't like it, fuck you. Luchasaurus pulls over, and Perry was reluctant at first, but he convinces him to oblige, and we get a Rocky montage where he's eating raw eggs, running up the steps in Philly and in the streets, with Perry doing the Rocky pose when he gets to the top. This was goofy, but it fits in with his current vignettes, so.
How often are we going to do this? How often are we going to keep trying to make this fucking thing work? He's been a babyface and then a heel and then a babyface and then a heel and now a babyface. He's been in the group. He's been out of.
He's only been a heel once. What are you saying? A heel?
What are you talking about? He was a fucking heel when he was fucking Beethoven. Have you forgotten that?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
but that was one heel run. That he was when he came back after the suspension. He came back. He was still a heel.
He wasn't the Beethoven kid. He was fucking.
But he was scapegoat. He was scapegoat. He was still a heel.
Scapegoat. Don't say it.
The scapegoat. The scapegoat.
We retconned that. And here we are again with another Jack Perry push. You hate CM Punk this fucking much? We're gonna keep trying to make this fucking happen. Why? Let it go. Please let it go. If he apologizes, will you let it go? Because I'll try to get CM Punk to apologize. I'll do whatever it takes to make this go away. Please stop.
Hey, he had a great match last night.
He had a great match. A great match. Get the fuck out of here.
I know you hated it.
But good.
We got an Owen Hart men's tournament. Before we get to Perry's matchup later on in the show, you got Brody King going at it with Claudio Castagnoli. The winner of this matchup moves on to verse Swerve Strickland in the semifinals. Renee Paquette was ringside pre-match and brought up both men splitting wins in the 2023 and 2024 Continental Classic. You get Castagnoli, who hit a hit and run strategy to start until King started firing off loud chops. You get Castagnoli, who responded with European uppercuts of his own until Castagnoli spills outside to regroup. Brody joins them and they exchange a prolonged strike exchange, nearly getting counted out until both men dived in just in time. And then they ramp up the strikes yet again throughout the entire commercial break. We get both men colliding like trucks against one another, and they fall simultaneously to their knees, where overhead chops are traded before each man does a face plant. Castagnoli is up and really kicked things into high gear with some European uppercuts aplenty. Brody got his boot up and ramped up the violence party of his own with some hard chops that were echoing across the arena. He puts Claudio into the corner. He starts blocking. He turned his head long enough for Claudio to explode out of the corner with the European uppercut. Brody stayed strong and then dropped him with a big forearm and connected with the cannonball. Taz questioned if that was the actual first move of the matchup and not a strike, and in fact it was. King then wanted to dive, but Claudio caught him with the European uppercut before he could make it out of the ring. Claudio connected with the discus European uppercut. He flipped out of a powerbomb attempt, or he tried to do the neutralizer, but he got flipped over and he landed on his feet. Both men collided yet again with lariats. We get chop, lariat, and elbow combo from Brody as they were just beating the ever-loving hell out of each other. He wanted for the Gonzo bomb, but Claudio slipped out. He tried a springboard, but he just ate a forearm in midair. Brody charged into a pop-up European uppercut by Claudio, but never went down. Instead, he just swung for the fences and took Claudio's head off with a King Kong lariat. 1, 2, 3 to pick up the victory here. This was a certified banger. These two just beat the ever-living hell out of one another. This is so different from everything else on the show and what you usually see for wrestling. This was just two guys who just said, we're just going to really beat the hell out of one another, and just whoever can basically take the other person out and knock them out, that is going to be the winner. And that's who won, with Brody getting that last lariat to pick up the victory here. He now moves on to face Claudio to first Swerve Strickland in a rematch from Revolution in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Great match. What did you think, though?
Good match that suffers from lack of giving a fuck. Sorry, these two. Claudio particularly is probably as cold as she's ever been. I don't mean he's not even cold. That's just who he is now. He's just a guy. He's just Moxley's guy. Moxley's henchman, heavy, if you would. Brody isn't doing that great either, but I like Brody, so I'm not going to insult him. The match is good. It is what it is, but nobody expects any of these guys to advance in the tournament too far. So you take it for what it's worth.
So you're saying you don't think Brody has a chance against Swerve?
No. Me and him have the same chance. Yeah.
Fair enough. We got in the chat with us. What the hell? Okay, there we go. We got a solid outing from these guys. From Davion, he says. We also got Project Finisher says suffers from this company pushes the little guys.
Well, Brody does. Claudio's another WWE mainstay. 10 years past his prime. He's made with a sickle to just come through this place. This is fucking outrageous. When I actually think about it. Claudio,
it's all the guys it was all the guys who were the workhorses in WWE.
Yes, all the guys Tony's a fan of because he saw them probably long ago. We're gonna do them right this time. So we can't because they're fucking 10 years older. There we go.
Dion says they'll probably have Brody beat Swerve just to not be predictable, have him get his win back from Revolution.
You won't get an argument with fucking me. It's not gonna happen. I'd pop huge.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They had a great match at Revolution, and I'm sure they can deliver once again, but this time on TV. I'm interested to see when they're gonna make that matchup. Maybe in 2 weeks, since next week is the other semifinal.
I would imagine so.
It is going to be crazy that we're probably going to already have the finals and we still haven't had like a semifinal matchup in the women's tournament.
He doesn't give a fuck. I wish he would just come out and say it. Why does that make?
Yeah,
it'd be a big deal for like a week. Then we could all get over it.
Then we get Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, our new AEW World Tag Team Champions. They are out for their 5-second pose, their first 5-second pose in 25 years. Christian gets into the ring and he talks first, and he tells the fans to sit down, shut up, and let me handle my business. Cope cuts him off and asks him if he heard that ovation. What are you talking about? What are you doing? He was like, did I say something wrong? What? He didn't say he banged all their mothers. But then again, maybe I did. Cope says the 90s were a crazy time, and Cage puts over FTR as being the best tag team they've ever shared the ring with. They brought out the best in them. They are top guys, but they just aren't the tippy top, which then leads to them raising the titles in the air. Cope said that FTR agreed to an I Quit match with the stip of possibly never teaming again, but they never quit instead. They said you face two guys who got their careers back after 16 years combined away from the ring. But it's time to live in the now with FTR in the rearview mirror. And he says it's time to do something that they haven't done in 25 years. For the benefit of those with flash photography, they'll hit a 5-second pose. Cage says, I'm not doing that. but said they don't even make flash photography anymore, which Cope says that's where he's wrong. Cope said about 25 years ago, he went to the store and he brought these just for this scenario, as he dumps a bag of disposable cameras from under the ring and he hands a bunch out ringside how to properly use them if you're under 25. Taz swears if Cope gives him one, he'll double leg his ass. They are about to hit their 5-second pose when out of nowhere come the dogs. David Finlay and Clark Connors attack Cage and Cope. They hit Cope in the back of the head with the shillelagh and then attack Christian's injured forearm. They smash the shillelagh against Christian's hand over the ring steps. Finlay then places the steel steps onto Cage's hand as Connors double stomps down on the from the apron onto the steel steps. Cope had been blasted with the shillelagh, but eventually they pick him up. They get Cage, who got one for good measure, to the head. Then Finlay lifted Cope up as he told Connors to show him how it's really done as he hits a spear out of the corner. Connors then orders a photographer ringside to take a photo of the downed champions with the disposable camera, and Connors says the dogs present a new 5-second pose of your next AEW World Tag Team Champions. They stand over Cope and Cage as they get some heat from the crowd watching on in Philly. I was surprised. This actually was really entertaining for me. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I thought Cage and Cope were probably some of the best like mic work that they've done since they returned. And I thought the dogs beatdown on them was very effective. They got good heat for it. And then their 5-second pose was funny as fuck. What did you think?
Look at that fucking picture. I was gonna say it looks like Hunter and Michaels, but it looks like two Michaels. These niggas look ridiculous. Two coked up Shawn Michaels in the fucking picture. Jesus Christ. I enjoyed this. Look at this. This is 5 minutes before the bump. This is 5 minutes after the bump.
That's hilarious.
I can't believe how much I enjoyed the dogs here. This was a very good segment. Listen, it's a shame the name was the dogs because that's heinous. But this mostly worked for me. Edge and Christian were good. Christian was fucking fantastic. Edge played off it well. And then the dogs felt, you hadn't paid attention at all, they felt like a threat. If this was their debut, this would have been splendid.
Should have saved them for like 2 more months. Should have saved 2 more months, Tony.
Yeah, this was really good. I was shocked how good this was.
Yeah.
Segment easy.
Yeah. As far as like pure entertainment and the amount of time that it took, this hit all the marks. I was quite surprised of how much I enjoyed this, because when I saw the 5-second pose, I was like, are they really gonna do the 5-second pose? Or are you gonna have like the FTR continue the rivalry, or maybe the Young Bucks interrupt and we have a babyface off and stuff like that? This surprised me, but at the same time, it made a lot of sense. And they, like you said, this is probably the most effective that the dogs have looked on AEW television.
Yeah, man. I hope it works out. I want to see people who take a big swing have it work out for them. David Finley in this case in particular.
Yeah, even Big Man Dogs, he enjoyed it. He says 5.5 star segment. Seems fair. We got Pyrotech Finisher. He says really fun segment. We got Clark Connor. He's Dion saying Clark Connor still has those Undertaker tribute pants. I see.
Heinous looking. It works for without fucking animal.
He says the segment was very good. Same with King Petite. We got King Davion, who says segment was funny. We got King Petite, who says Cope and Cage somehow turning me around on the dogs. They truly are legends.
Right? I am. This is their one chance. This is it.
You only get one shot. You only get one shot. Don't let the Jimmy down. Fritz Nana is backstage with Swerve Strickland, saying that he's taking the Owen back to Wembley, and there he will win the AEW World Title once again. Strickland applauds Brody King and says that if it wasn't for Swerve, no one would know who King was. He's the man that broke him into the business back in 2016. Strickland doesn't care about Bandito's condition right now after Double or Nothing, but one thing he's learned is conflict creates cash. War equals money, and he looks forward to making a lot of it with King. He leaves Prince Nana in the room, who says, "Whose house?" as the crowd says, "Swerve's house." Probably the more effective than I usually hear from Swerve. This was short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the mics there, but like the crowd was talking all over him in the beginning. Yeah, this was, as you said, this is probably the high watermark for Swerve over the last few months. I don't know what happened. Just lose your mojo. Maybe he's got fucking AI doing his fucking promos now.
Well, next, an hour and 47 minutes into the show, we finally have a women's matchup. It is Ty J Fight. Ty Mello and Anna Jay are here for tag team action, their first tag team match in a number of months. They are facing Ava Everett and Allie Katch. We get the Divine Dominion with an inset promo pre-match saying that they'll be timing Ty J and they'll fall victim just like everyone else. Jay immediately pops Katch in the mouth with a hook kick and then hits a flying slam before tagging in Mello for locomotion corner strikes. Katch stumbles back to tag Everett, who walked right into a pump kick. Jay finishes off with a running low blockbuster. Mello hits a running knee. Then we get the gory special into the knee lift as they take down Allie on the corner and then get the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory here. This one went about 60 seconds. Quick, easy, to the point. Then during the collision portion of the show, we try to catch up with Ty J, but Lexi Nair sees Divine Dominion, who say 30 seconds were not impressed, and they were not talking about the matchup. They were talking about backstage where they jumped Ty J and knocked them out and laid them out. Then it was announced later on in the show it will be Divine Dominion versus Ty J in their AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship 5-minute eliminator. So we'll see if Ty J can last the 5 minutes against the champions. What did you think about this quick squash and them building to Divine Dominion and Ty J?
Building to Ty J doing fucking anything is a terrible idea. This is something else that should have been left in AEW's past. Offensive is how I would describe this match, its placement, and it being the only women's match on Dynamite. As far as Divine Dominion, I assume they're gonna not beat them in the 5 minutes. Therefore, we can get this match on Dynamite. Yay! In which case, I don't know. I gotta be honest. Women's division, it veers to me from disgusting to hilarious. Depends on the mood. At the moment, I'm disgusted. This is fucking. What is going on?
Damn shame. I don't know. Yeah, King Davion saying no Thekla or mention of the TBS championship situation. Give the pen to someone else, mate. They would eventually mention the TBS championship situation, but they waited until the final 5 minutes of the show to do that.
Hilarious. You fucking remembered. Oh shit. Right. Willow's gone. Can I say this about Swerve?
Ooh.
I want to say this about Swerve. Because he bothers me, obviously. This is perfection. This take. This is exactly what it is. I got the same feeling when I watched Drake 15 years ago. I go, I don't know anything about this kid. I just know this is not who he is. I don't know anything other than that. I don't know what's going on. What was the video? Headlines. I don't know who this kid is, but yeah, no. That's what Swerve is. That's what it is. It's from Washington. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's from what kind of a neighborhood is he from? We gotta look this up. I'm gonna assume a middle class neighborhood in Washington, where he didn't develop his. I don't know if I put this nicely. I don't want to get into too much trouble.
You never put anything nicely. We know you already. Stop it.
Come on, man. We know these people.
He's from Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma. There you go. You went to high school. When you see these kids, and then you see them 10 years later, and all of a sudden they're a thug, and you're like, I know you're in high school. This is not you. Sorry, I don't believe you. That's a Swerve is. Fucking decided to fucking get dreads and tattoos and gold chains at 28 years old. Or fucking however old he is. It's like, yeah, you're cosplaying as a rapper. It is what it is.
Cosplaying as a rapper is what
the real you pours out. You can't help it. Black and ugly.
Why do you hate
it? That's the real you. That's what he said. I'm not calling it black and ugly. Those are his words. But he clipped that.
Okay. We understand.
Some people don't. People still know what Swerve did. If you ever want, yes, his real name's Clarence. His real name is Clarence.
This guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence. We got a furious Speedball Mike Bailey backstage as he says that if Kevin Knight wants to walk down separate paths, so be it. And he challenges Knight to a matchup one-on-one, but we never learn when they will go one-on-one until later on in the show when it's announced that Kevin the Jet Knight will go one-on-one with his former tag team partner, Speedball Mike Bailey, for the TNT Championship next Wednesday on Dynamite.
You didn't delete that picture, did you?
Yes, I did. Do you want me to put it back up?
Fucking white turtleneck with that fucking face and that awful fucking jacket he's got. Holy shit. I do enjoy how Speedball always keeps me right down the middle. Every time I start to like him a little too much, he's just like, whoa. Rein that in. I appreciate it. Just couldn't do a word. What the fuck?
Oh man, I knew you would enjoy this.
I am looking forward to that match, though. I do want to see that match.
That match is gonna cook, yeah.
I'm curious if Kevin Knight changes his style at all. He tones it down a bit, less the flippy, high-flying stuff. Hopefully not too much.
Yeah, I think that's what makes him him.
Oh, look at his fucking face. That fucking outfit. Is that a pocket? What is this? That is heinous. Sorry. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Oh man. Some people. He does look like he would have like the smoke pipe, and he just that'd be his home jacket. He just wears it at home.
Dresses like fucking Hugh Hefner. Look ridiculous.
Just like Ron Burgundy and shit. Then we get the Dynamite portion main event. We see Luchasaurus pulls up to the arena in the Jurassic Express bus, and out comes Jungle Jack Perry. He stomps out and he lets out a big woo and rips his shirt off. You get him coming down. You get Mark Davis is rocking an eye patch, as Excalibur says that is from nearly losing his eye in the Stadium Stampede, as we get a video package with a bunch of highlights from that matchup, including Perry attempting to run down Davis with his bus and having the cops call in the process. You got Callis.
Did he actually almost lose his eye, or is that a bit?
No, he got dropped toe hold on like the wrong side of the steel chair, so he did almost like lose his eye. He did injure himself.
How the fuck is he cleared to wrestle?
Yeah, barely. He wasn't that hurt. So, Callis joins commentary as Davis attacked Perry at the bell, mowing him down with a corner splash and a standing senton. Perry went right after the eye. He ripped the eye patch away and put it on himself. Perry then tried a charge, but bounced right off of Davis as the patch went flying in the process. Perry sent him to the floor and hits 3 separate dives. The brawl kept going at ringside, where Perry briefly stayed down with Callis, allowing Davis to chuck Perry clear over the barricade. Perry came up clutching his ankle as Taz made a Richard Simmons reference during the commercial break, saying that it's what Perry's pants remind him of. Excalibur says that they've had to explain the Superstation and now flash photography and now Richard Simmons to the young viewers. Davis continues to beat the piss out of Perry around ringside and back in the ring, where Davis wore him down with a series of clotheslines. You get Perry, who waits for him to come into the ring, and he's doing the Taz pose on the top, and Taz is like, that's gimmick infringement. Perry just broke the count and dodges a Davis senton. He took Davis to the apron, where Perry connected with a Hurricane Rana to the floor. He then goes up top and he hits a beautiful moonsault to the outside. He hits one back inside and gets a 2 count. Perry got his knees up on a senton and launched off of Davis's back for a leaping senton of his own for a near fall. For some reason, Perry keeps going for a power driver, which Davis keeps escaping, but Perry low bridges him just enough for a baseball slide Casadora Bulldog. Back to the apron, you get Davis, who clobbered down on Perry back in the ring. He pulled him right back out and then spiked him with a suplex on the edge of the ring flame. Great spot there where you see Perry's shoes fly off. During the commercial break, you get Davis back in the ring. He tears off of Perry's socks and he exposes his foot and he stomps down on it. Excalibur popped Taz when he says that he's never remembered anyone wrestling barefoot or winning a match in Philadelphia. Both men fight up top, where Perry gets a guillotine and follows up with an avalanche DDT, spiking Davis. He hits a slice spread number 2 for a near fall. Davis rolls through a power driver attempt with an enziguri and tries his bounce back lariat. Perry had it scouted and he exchanges quick pin attempts. After so many attempts, you get Perry who connects with the power driver only to get a 2 count. Snare trap applied, but Davis somehow is able to get to the ropes. You get Perry who wanted the sacrifice knee, but he was swatted out of midair by the bigger Davis. You get Davis who turned Perry inside out with the bounce back lariat, but Perry kicks out at 2. Perry then held on for dear life for the gut wrench power driver as Perry then slapped Davis repeatedly, only pissing him off. Perry wanted a superplex off the top rope, but he lost his balance due to being barefoot, which basically was his Achilles heel here, as Davis then reversed that, powered him up, and hits a spinning avalanche power driver to get the 1-2-3 and pick up the victory here. I thought this was an awesome matchup. This over-delivered for me. I thought the previous matchups that they've had together were good, but this one just really was a strong effort from Perry. I like the whole being barefoot kind of came back to haunt him in the end as Davis picked up the victory and gets the win to move on in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And Davis has just been great as of late. Like, he's been great for a number of months when he was kind of in the losing up position where he was always losing week after week, but he's slowly gotten more and more, and he's become one of my favorites to see weekly on Dynamite and Collision. So he gets the win here. He's still a national champion and also moves on to face his former friend and stablemate Will Ospreay in a rematch from the last time they faced, where Davis got the doctor stoppage victory 2 months ago. He faces Will Ospreay in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament next week. What did you think about Davis and Perry here?
Good match. Not a main event. Fucking Mark Davis and Jack Perry. Fucking outrageous. But a good match. Perry is a good as an underdog babyface. He'd be better as an unemployed babyface, but we will take what we can get. Mark Davis is fantastic. Fantastic? That's strong. I like. Mark Davis is very good. And with the right opponent, you can have really good matches. I was impressed with this, including the finish. Was it too long? Probably. It's Jack Perry. But she's mostly really good stuff.
Was it too long? Yes. It was Jack Perry.
This was a very good Collision main event.
Well, it ended during the Collision portion of the show, so I guess it counts.
That counts as something, I guess.
What do you think about Davis versus Ospreay next week? I know we both were big fans of the last match that they had and the finish. So, you looking forward to next week?
I'm curious how Ospreay's new style is going to mesh with Mark Davis these days. I assume he knows what he's doing. But this, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be a great match, would be my guess. And Ospreay gets his win back, which is fine. Mark Davis beat Ospreay. That's more than you could ever ask for. Anything after that is fucking gravy.
Yeah, makes a whole lot of sense with everybody who's moved on in the tournament so far. We got Queen career Auntie Collins, who says, "I want the pants."
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm leaving it alone because I'm fucking professional.
Well done, sir. Well done. King Potate says he hated this match because I had the displeasure of looking at Jack Perry's sweaty ass against my will. Solid 3.75 star. That's a Dave Meltzer-esque description of the matchup. Still giving it a good rating.
That's about right, though. I'd say, yeah, about that. 3.5.
Great Hero says match was a bit too long, but I love the finishing stretch. Yeah, they definitely delivered. This was the best match of the 3 matches that they've had recently. So good stuff.
3 matches? Oh, whatever. Who cares?
One was on the pre-show to Dynasty.
Oh my god!
So they went from pre-show Dynasty, Collision to Dynamite. See, they were going up.
Listen, we should move up further, like pay-per-view, if I want to watch.
I knew you were going to say that. Renee Paquette gets into the ring to talk to Mark Davis and Don Callis, saying that next week it will be Davis versus Will Ospreay in the semifinals of the Owen. Callis says that he hopes Ospreay was watching, as next week Davis will put him on the shelf indefinitely. He knows Ospreay better than his own mother and was never the chosen one of the Don Callis family. But you know who else wasn't? Konosuke Takeshita. The only chosen one of the Callis family was Kyle, by God, Fletcher. Fletcher's music hit, and out comes the Proto Star. Fletcher walks out with a Rocky Romero, and before he gets involved in his promo, he says, "Don, give me some sugar." As they hug one another. Now he says they can talk about the elephant in the room. How could Kyle Fletcher come back from such a catastrophic injury in such a record time? How can you break your leg in 2 places and come back in 2 months? It's because he's a picture perfect performer, and happy to announce that he is 100% cleared for in-ring competition. There's one more driving factor to come back for, and that's to cut the dead weight from the Don Callis family. For a year, Fletcher tried to hold the family together, while Takeshita tried to drive a wedge between them, always doing what's best for Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita never cared about the family or Fletcher, who really wanted to sit atop the wrestling world with his best friend, Takeshita. So Proto Shita running it all, but it will never happen. Then the music of Konosuke Takeshita, after Fletcher calls him a selfish prick, Takeshita's music hits, and out comes the new international champion. Commentary talks about how Takeshita can't come down to the ring because he is clearly outnumbered, but he's got some backup. He's got the enemies of the Don Callis family, the conglomeration, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Mark Briscoe. They all look to hit the ring as Fletcher, Davis, Romero, and Callis bail, being outnumbered. Takeshita then took the microphone as the fans start chanting, "You deserve it." Very happy to see the new international champion. He says that he's got his title back and simply says, "Kyle Fletcher, I want you." Fletcher looks on, looking very not pleased with all of this, as Takeshita stands tall with the international championship in the ring. We are not known yet when these two former friends and partners will go at it, but we do know the conglomeration will defend the AEW World Trios Championships this Saturday on AEW Collision against the Don Callis families, Lance Archer and RPG Vice.
Ugh.
I liked Fletcher's promo here. I just really love how confident he's gotten on the mic, and it is amazing that he's come back this fast from this injury. He basically broke his leg and he's already back. He's on some John Cena status with the quick recovery from that. Came off confident. I like his explanation. I mean, saying that it's John Cena is basically clarifying what you said already. But I like his explanation of why he turned on Takeshita, because Takeshita was the main one who had the issues with Okada that was basically driving a wedge within the Don Callis family, and Fletcher has long been the big golden boy of Callis, so it makes sense for him to be the one who stabs Takeshita in the back, because that's probably the most effective way to get Takeshita out of the Don Callis family outside of him doing it himself. But he kind of already was doing it himself when he went against Callis during the matchup, so it works out in several different ways. And this felt good to see Takeshita as the babyface with the crowd behind him and feeling confident, getting on the mic, having a live mic in his hand for the first time in forever. So it felt like they gave them a right step forward for this feud between the former Proto Shida. What did you think?
This is why I'm pro steroids. Heals injuries, produces better bodies, and apparently improves your promo work. I loved this promo. I couldn't believe how much I loved this promo from fucking Fletcher. I was just sitting there like, usually I watch Kyle Fletcher promo, I'm like, you just hand the mic to the other guy if you don't mind. But this time, not once. I enjoyed every single bit of this. He looked like a star. He always found his camera when he needed to find it. He ended fucking strong. He didn't need to use a fucking curse word like some other promos we could mention. And I thought he thoroughly outshined. You know, I'm not going to do that. We're in May. I'll wait. I'll wait a couple weeks before I start shooting Kevin Knight. But I thought this was a heel promo done right.
Still can't help himself, ladies and gentlemen. This is who he is.
This was so fun. How much better was this?
This was great. Great. By Kyle Fletcher Sanders, this is one of his best promos.
Fucking fantastic. And keep it let's say, yeah. It's like running fucking circles around fucking.
We need a t-shirt for that. This is why I'm pro steroid.
I don't understand the big issue. Outside of you might lose your fucking mind and kill your wife and kid. Other than that, I am
what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
There's risks to everything, sir. You can't live your life being afraid to kill your wife and kid.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Stop being a coward. You can't live your life being afraid to lose yourself every once in a while. This is funny.
He's saying it like it's fucking Eminem. Lose yourself in the
Shit happens. Yeah, this was fucking great. I loved every single part of this. Outside of the conglomeration showing up, that fucking bothered the shit out of me. But other than that, you know, it makes lots of sense. They don't like the Don Callis family. Takeshi's not in the fucking group. No. So here's hoping.
Yeah, I think it's okay for babyface. Like, basically, it was Takesha saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? It could. You know what? That's true. We don't know if it was Void Rage. It could have been CTE. Apologies for slandering the name of Chris Benoit.
The sanctimonious name of Chris Benoit.
Apologies, sir. It could have been CTE.
Oh, man. We then go backstage to Will Ospreay, who applauds Mark Davis on his win in the Owen Hart Cup and talked about their well-documented history dating back to United Empire. He says that he had Davis living in his house during the pandemic rent-free, but he still owes him money for that. Ospreay faced Davis last time at 50%, but now he's 100%, and nothing is stopping him from Wembley Stadium. The Death Riders walk in and say that it's go time. Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir give Ospreay a fist bump, while Pac just basically looks at Ospreay, and then he gives a great shot to the camera where he just rolls his eyes and walks away like, this dweeb.
Yeah. What the fuck? What a fucking loser. I'm so bothered. By this. What was wasn't Moxley Hangman just last year?
Yes, it was.
Didn't Will Ospreay? It wasn't Swerve. It wasn't Hangman. It was Will Ospreay that tried to bring everybody together.
Yes, it was.
And now he's getting his fist bump ignored. Good Lord. This is you gotta retcon this. You gotta say fucking Will Ospreay's got a concussion or CTE. Or
welcome back. Oh, here we go again. Got something to say?
Oh,
You tired?
yes. I'm going to sleep now.
All right, you want to say good night, Uncle Jimmy?
Good night, Uncle Jimmy.
Enjoy. Have a good nap.
Okay.
So, tell the people to send super chats.
Send super chats.
There we go. Kids are always useful. Then I love Auntie Collins' reaction in the chat. What am I hearing? I'm talking about you. Definitely directed at you, sir.
You think so?
Yes. We agree to disagree here. Then we get Will Ospreay and the Death Riders versus the Rascals in trios action. Moxley and Pac attack before the bell. Meanwhile, Ospreay is just standing there, not wanting to do it the same way. Xavier and Ospreay then trade to start things off in the ring. Ospreay absolutely flattens Xavier with a big boot before midair cuts him off with a from a leapfrog attempt. Pac was very reluctant to tag Ospreay initially, but did, and we get fast tags to Moxley and Wentz, led to Wentz showing no fear and throwing a series of chops before being mowed down from a running back elbow. We get Pip Pip Cheerio from Ospreay as he took the locomotion corner attacks from the Rascals until Wentz and Reed took flight with double dives to the Death Riders. Ospreay was isolated, resulting in Moxley and Pac coaching him to get free, but Wentz hit a handspring pump knee until Ospreay responded with a handspring double Pele to both Wentz and Xavier. Ospreay hesitated before finally making the tag to Pac, who took Reed's head off with a big lariat. We get a tilt-a-war backbreaker to Xavier and an overhead throw to Wentz. Pac hits a great-looking release German suplex on Dez and right onto the noggin, and then another to stack Reed and Wentz in the corner. We get Moxley eagerly got back in, and he and Pac were joined by Ospreay with the merry-go-round locomotion corner strikes. Then he hits a cutter to end the exchange. We get stereo big dives by Ospreay and Pac to Wentz and Xavier. Reed kicked out of a Moxley power driver. We go for a Death Rider attempt, but Reed reverses that into a cradle. He kips up, but he hits a cutter on Moxley and then opted to pose, giving Moxley a chance to hit him with a lariat. We get a double stomp to the arm by Ospreay after he's tagged in. He hit La Mystica. Moxley and Pac trap Xavier and Reed in rear naked choke and the brutalizer, while Ospreay gets death ground on Myron Reed. He locks it on and he taps out immediately to get the submission victory. Pat gives a head nod of approval and finally gives the fist bump to Ospreay as post-match the Death Riders and Ospreay celebrate the win. Fun matchup. It was effective. It told the story of the Death Riders and Ospreay getting on the same page here. He seems to be more and more in tune with this group, which goes against his whole mantra of he was just doing this to help himself, and now he's seeming more and more like a member of the group. So it's definitely Stockholm Syndrome at his finest.
The match is good. I've complained enough about Will Ospreay, haven't I? Complained enough about all this stuff right now. What is going on? None of this makes any fucking sense. This is so for me, it's not unsalvageable, but for me to buy into it, I would have to have faith in the writing, and I don't. So Stockholm Syndrome or things like this would be great if that's what we were doing, but we're not doing that. This is fucking wrestling. This is not The Sopranos or fucking Breaking Bad. What you see is what you are seeing. There is no deeper meaning to what you're saying. You are quite literally just saying what you're saying. That's it. Sorry. And that's a shame.
That's a great way to put it. He's Moxley's red pill summer camp, and Kenny needs to save Ospreay.
Lord. I can't believe it. He also was like the coolest wrestler when he got here. He's a fucking loser. Literally.
I wouldn't go that far, but I understand why you're saying
Pac
that.
turning down his fucking fist bump, and then that's his big reward at the end. What the fuck? Why is Will Ospreay such a loser?
He got his respect. He earned his respect.
Earned his respect? I'm Will Ospreay, nigga. What do you mean? Earned Pac's respect. Steve Austin finally earned Val Venus' respect. Look at that.
That is wild. Calling Pac Val Venus.
Except the fist bump for Val. What the fuck? Jesus.
We go backstage to the Ops, where Samoa Joe admits that it hasn't been the best week for the organization, but doesn't mean the mention changes. We stand in opposition of anyone in their way. He brings up Hook wrapping up filming his first movie. Shibata owns a hottest chain of Pacino parlors. And Bowens will get the opportunity he deserves, as everyone will give him a round of applause. Hollywood calls, though, and Joe says that he'll be stepping away for a few months and expects them all to hold it down while he's away. He hugs all of them before giving a nod to Hook, who took over standing in the middle. Bowens almost looked like he was going to, but held back. I'm going to assume that Joe is leaving to film Twisted Metal Season 3, but it really feels like he just came back and now he's already gone.
Yeah, what a waste that was. All right. So the ops now with Hook as leader over Anthony Bowen and Shibata.
It's kind of disrespectful to Shibata. Like, he's definitely been here. Like, he hasn't got injured like Hook did, and
he's been
in the group longer. The original ops was no, it was Hook in it, but he kind of left for a bit and then he came back. Like,
how about the fact that he's been a good wrestler at some point in his life? Shouldn't that immediately put me to the top of the fucking list? Yeah, whatever. It's never worth getting upset about. Who cares?
Yeah, it does feel like that, Annika. She says, I appreciate Joe doing Double or Nothing before filming again, though. Yeah, it really feels like he just came back to do Double or Nothing and then had to bounce again.
I appreciate it because it at least gave us some kind of interesting first round match.
Yeah, true. We had a video package for the main event, Kris Statlander and Hikaru Shida documenting their last couple of months being frenemies. Then we get Lexi Nair with the whole scene with Ty J getting attacked backstage. And then we get Andrade El Idolo going one-on-one with your favorite Jimmy, Ace Austin. We had a very fast pace exchange to start things off. Austin nearly getting his squatting DVD, but Andrade escaped, and then they trade standing switches before Andrade flies into the ropes and does his pose. You get Austin, who tried to use his speed to catch Andrade in the corner. We get Andrade, who catches him outside and hits a tornillo. He then poses near the barricade, and he does his weekly selfie with a female fan who piggybacked their way over the barricade as he picked her up after taking the photo and placed her back in the front row. We get the squatting DVD misses again from Ace back in the ring, and Andrade boots him, but then he eats a corner enziguri. He finally hits the squatting DVD, but he's only able to get a 2 count. And another fireman's carry, Austin carried Andrade up the ropes, but Andrade countered with a sunset flip powerbomb for a rough landing for Ace. Andrade then wanted the corner double knees, but no one was home. Austin flew in with a springboard twisting kick. Austin then called for the fold, but Andrade popped up and hits a spinning back elbow. He picks up Ace and then hits him with the DM for the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory here. Excalibur put over Ace for win, lose, or draw, said that he matched this up well with high caliber talent. They're telling us more than showing us when you do stuff like that on commentary. Good matchup, but it was solely unnecessary on this fucking show, especially when it started with 15 minutes left in the 3-hour format of this show.
Yeah, who needs this in their life? 10 minutes of Ace Austin and Andrade. Sure. I think you were right on your call about Tony Khan being in love with Ace Austin. Sure, it's because it reminds me of some of the other talents he's seen over the fucking years, like all of them.
Here we go again. Oh, I thought you were gonna list them. You usually list them.
I'm not gonna talk about Austin Aries and fucking Chris Sabin and Davey Richards and just a whole list of that type of wrestler. Really, Meltzer? This seems like it's right up his fucking alley.
But it's probably the same reason why I didn't like it, because it's so late into the show and this crowd just couldn't care couldn't care less. See, this would have been better suited on Collision this week. At least it would have had it would have been in a 2-hour format. The crowd was up. You could have done more promos or more video package to hype up the main event if this was going to be the main event. If you wanted to start the main event after the 3-hour format because it's a lights out matchup and all of that, there was other ways to use this 10-15 minutes than another matchup, a heatless matchup at that, even though it was good.
Fair points. Is Andrade ever going to get over?
Huh?
Is Andrade ever going to get over? Ace Austin's a lost cause. Andrade, I don't know. It just feels like unless he's doing something egregious, like the what's the catchphrase? How you know? Or grabbing some broad from the front row. So nobody really cares about his offense, which is wild because I enjoy all his matches.
I think the crowd is usually into him, but you're getting them at the end of a fucking 3-hour show when it's clearly not the main event. Like, and you already used them in a backstage segment, and that was good enough to kind of still have him in the mix of the names in the AEW World Championship scene. I would have saved this match for Saturday, honestly. You know me, I watch both shows. I don't mind watching this matchup. It just was the wrong time and unnecessary on this specific show. We get prior to the main event, Excalibur talks about these lights out matches happening when competitors have so much animosity against one another. There's no other option, which is very interesting considering these two just had a falling out on Sunday.
Certainly.
But Kris Statlander is here going one-on-one with Hikaru Shida in a lights out Philadelphia street fight. The bell sounds and both ladies start taking punches on bunches. We get a thrust kick from Statlander, took Shida to the outside. We get a jumping knee off the apron by Statlander, who grabbed the chair from under the ring and literally slid it right to Hikaru Shida, who popped Statlander in the ribs. She then wedged the chair in the corner, but it took too long, and Statlander slingshotted her into the chair. We get Shida, who responded with a kendo stick shot before going outside, where apparently a fan threw her an apple that she punched Statlander with 10 times. Shida then drove the apple into Statlander's mouth and then hit her with a buzzsaw kick. The two ladies brawled to the backstage area, which got loud boos from this crowd as Shida suplexed Statlander on a guardrail. They then came from the backstage area and the fans cheered for that one. Then we get one of the most hilarious spots of the whole entire night. Shida pulls up with a fucking bicycle and runs over Statlander's head. Before clocking her, she fucking does a spin and then clocks her with the bike. Thankfully, Excalibur delivered the Dusty Rose Gem. He got a bicycle line during the commercial to make his WCW fans happy. We get Shida suplex Statlander into the corner where the steel chair was set up before applying a crossface with the kendo stick. We get Sandman S, a White Russian leg sweep as more chairs are tossed into the ring by Shida, who took too long going up top, and Statlander met her with a superplex onto the steel chairs. Spin out fisherman suplex got Statlander a near fall as she dragged Shida onto the chairs and missed a top rope moonsault. Meteora onto the chairs from Shida, connected for a 2 count. Both ladies slug it out in the middle of the ring until Shida hits the Falcon Arrow, but Statlander kips up, shocking Shida. She chucks her fastball style steel chair right to the face. It leaves a huge knot on fucking Shida's head. Statlander then went outside and set up a table at ringside that popped the crowd. Shida was stacking chairs on the outside, and a charging Statlander got a drop toe hold onto them. Statlander battled back with a DVD onto the seated chairs before taking out a fluorescent light tube. Shida pleaded that they were friends as Statlander foolishly put the tube down, and she got her eyes raked as a result. Back in the ring, you get Shida, who hits her with the katana. She then grabs the light tube and fucking obliterates Statlander on the back with it. She hits the Falcon Arrow yet again, and this time gets a 2 count. Shida lit up the bloody back of Statlander with kendo stick shots. She placed the chair against Statlander's head in the ropes, which Statlander easily got out of and smashed her with it to the face. Both ladies fought on the apron as Shida hit one last kendo stick shot. As Statlander blocked it, she snatched the kendo stick and then stuck the jagged edges into Shida's head. She then hits Wednesday Night Fever off the apron through the fucking table at ringside. Back inside, it looks like Shida is dead to rights. When Harley Cameron ran out, she handed Statlander another kendo stick and she smashed it over her back. She hits another Wednesday Night Fever and gets the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory and win this lights out matchup. Cameron and Statlander hug in the ring and they head up the aisle together as Shida looks furious in the ring to close the show. Great match. These ladies just went all out there. It was wild. It was violent. It fit the lights out stipulation despite this feud not really being necessary for a lights out matchup. But man, Statlander just excels in this style of matchup. You've seen it in the Chicago street fight against Willow. I thought Shida worked really well with this whole stipulation as well. They went all out there and they got this crowd 3+ hours into the show. They got them invested and they got a big reaction for this matchup. So hats off to both ladies. Despite the lack of women's action on this show, they went out there and they got plenty of time to have a brutal brawl and they delivered in it. So I got to give them credit for that. Although my one nitpick, why the fuck was Harley Cameron out here? Because I legit thought she was turning on Statlander. I thought that was the only reason she would be out here is that she's turning on Statlander, but she was just here to help her or hand her a kendo stick. It felt unnecessary if she wasn't turning. But other than that, I enjoyed this. What did you think?
Yeah. Agreed on all counts. Great match. Didn't need this stuff. It makes no fucking sense. But a great match nevertheless. Statlander is splendid in all things that are athletically oriented or involve wrestling. Pretty much anything that doesn't involve talking. She is fucking fantastic. Shida here, I was criticized using Shida since she's a relic from AEW's past. This has mostly worked. This angle they've got for her has mostly worked for me. I will say this. I think I'm on board with your Statlander being the wild card. I can't think of any other reason to do this match right fucking now when this could easily wait until the next pay-per-view. Fuck Statlander. Yeah. With nothing. Jesus.
Yeah. Unless they're gonna put them like in the TBS title situation, whatever that's gonna be. They did announce on commentary they're gonna address the TBS title situation on Collision, but they also did say on the presser following Double or Nothing, they were going to address it on Dynamite. So who knows if they address it on Collision or not? Who knows? But I think they worked this matchup very well. So I got to give them credit for that. But we got in the chat Annika who says give Statlander the TBS title back. Heck, okay.
When did she lose the world title?
February.
That's a bit soon for me.
Too soon. I agree.
World Champion's going down that fucking fast.
We got King Davion who says brutal match. Oh my goodness. We got Big Man Dogs talking about Ace Austin. Says Tony's like, I got my own Chris Sabin.
Oh, they still there? Sabin and what's his face? No, they got released, right?
They're about to be free agents.
Oh, great. Here we go. Fucking go.
Motor City.
That's what we need. More 40-year-olds who peaked 10 years ago. Can't wait.
Why do you hate everyone old? Do you have an ageist problem? What's up with you, man?
I like Small Joe. I like CM Punk. Ain't that enough? That's 2 people. Christian
That's
Cage.
it? That's all you can do?
Christian?
Cage? 3 people? 3 people?
How old's Becky?
I mean, I'll take her. She's been around for like 10 years, 10 years plus. Yeah.
You have that. So that's my requirement. You have to be absurdly good at your job if you're old.
Okay, fair. Well, we made it to the end of another edition of AEW with this AEW Dynamite and Collision 3-hour special. Final call for super chat donations. Show us some love in that way. We always appreciate the support, but it is about that time that we give our ratings on the show. Give us your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, your moment of the night. Whether you gave the show a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? For me and Jimmy Macram for the May 27th, 2026 edition of AEW Dynamite and Collision in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
I gave it a 7. I thought the lights out match was great. Pardon me. Jack Perry lost, always win. And it was a really good match. Fletcher, great promo. Kevin Knight and Speedball with some solid work. Everything I didn't like was kind of worthless. Not bad.
I want to go. I was leaning more 8, but I will be modest and I'll give it a 7.5. For the 3-hour shows, they've done back-to-back weeks of good shows for the 3 hours. They've kind of figured it out from the lull that they had at the beginning of the month. The last 2 weeks, they've kind of found their stride as far as delivering a bunch of good stuff. The Kevin Knight and Speedball stuff, that worked for me. Love the opening segment with Ospreay, Mox, and Kenny. I really enjoyed the lights out matchup. Love the 2 Owen Hart Cup matches as well. The big nitpick that I have is just the women's division and the lack of care for that. That's why I can't go 8 out of 10.
Oh, that was the dogs. Yeah, the dogs were great.
Oh yeah, the dogs in Copeland Cage, which was one of the best segments of the whole entire show, and the MJF stuff with everybody coming after the world title. I enjoyed as well. Jimmy, what was your match of the night?
Lights out match. With a relative ease.
I will go different. I really love the lights out matchup. I could easily go for that. I think there's 3 really good options on this show. I really loved Brody and Claudio as well, but I'm actually going to go with Jack Perry and Mark Davis. I thought that was the best matchup. The match that surprised me the most that it was great.
I'm actually going to go with Jack Perry. Words you should never hear. This is followed by To Be Murdered. Or something of the ilk.
What the hell? What is wrong with you?
I'm actually going with Jack Perry. What? Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Dude, murder? But murder. Was that necessary? Murder?
In his sleep or whatever's the least painful.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
We don't want to torture people. We just want to improve the quality of the programming.
Can't take this guy nowhere. Can't take this guy nowhere. Nowhere. MVP for the show, Jimmy.
MJF feels like the obvious pick as per fucking always, but I'm gonna go with Kyle Fletcher. He had a vibe about him this episode. I feel like we need to skip the international title.
Wow. I will go with Statlander, getting the win in the lights out matchup, really delivering. Shida was great as well, but I'll give it to Statlander for MVP. LVP for the show, who you going with?
Let's go with Tony Khan. He's booking the women's division.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's inexcusable at this point. You got to call it like it is. And then finally, the moment of the episode, I think I'm going to go with the dogs attacking Copeland Cage.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. I can't even enjoy the dogs. Shocking.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to bring us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. Appreciate all of y'all in the chat for joining us today. There's some good stuff from all of y'all. We got some MVPs for Copeland Cage. We got Brody and Claudio with some match of the night shout outs, some lights out shout outs. I love when we see different things being shouted out for the match of the night and MVP and LVP and everything else. Yeah, even Anka saying. They're doing better with the 3-hour show. Just don't make it every week. But Jimmy, any final words for the people?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nothing nice, at least. So I keep it to myself.
That's fair. I appreciate you being modest in there. Go over to patreon.com/TrueHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. Best way to support us when we're not live here, because this week we got our latest GOAT match series. After our 1 week break for Double or Nothing, we're back with a new one where we and Jimmy watch Misawa versus Kawada from June 3rd, 1994. All Japan Pro Wrestling. Me and Jimmy, spoiler alert, think this is one of the best matches we've watched this entire series. So go and check that out as we watched it and reacted to it all and see where it ranks in our season 2 list of matches. And also check out our AEW Double or Nothing 2026 review with myself, John Escudero, Top Guy JJ, and True Draw Josh, breaking down all the action from last Sunday's pay-per-view. I will be back live with you tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with Maggie to preview WWE Clash in Italy this coming Sunday. We got the True Heel Heat flagship podcast on Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And on Sunday, we're doing a AAA Noches de los Grandes review, talking all about the mass versus mass matchup between El Grande Americano and the original El Grande Americano. And then on Monday, we got our Clash in Italy review. So go and check all of that out right now and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified, and join us for all these live streams coming up over the next couple of days. For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble 251. Don't let the jet down. For the May 27th, 2026 edition of AEW Dynamite and Collision. We are signing off until next time.